Hi everyone. Today I will be showing you the accession process in CatalogIt. Since accessions are largely a museum process, this is meant for users with a museum account. Accessions refer to an object or a group of objects that were acquired by a museum from the same source on the same date that will be added to a permanent collection. Accessions document who, when, and where items come from and by which means they were acquired. Whether it's one item or multiple items, as long as they came from the same person on the same date, they're assigned the same accession number. By default, CatalogIt uses a three-part numbering system. This system is one of the most common and widely used numbering systems for museums. The first part is the year that the items were acquired. The second is a sequential batch. For example, the fourth accession of 2024 would be assigned 2024.4. And then the fifth would be assigned 2024.5, and so on from there. These two numbers create the accession number. The third part is a sequential number assigned to each item in the accession. For example, the first item from the fourth donation of 2024 would be assigned 2024.4.1, and this creates the object ID. The object ID is a unique number that can only be assigned to one object, and it should be physically attached to the object in some safe way. Now, I'll open up the CatalogIt app and show the process of creating an accession record. You have the option to create an accession record, or as we call them, accession profile, before cataloging the batch or while you're cataloging the first entry. I'll create my accession profile in advance. To do this, go to the main menu in the top left and then click on Profiles. From there, locate the accession profile. You can either click on the icon, scroll to find it, or you can search for it. This will bring up a list of all other accession records we have created. To create a new record, we have a couple options. You can either click on the plus sign on the right, or you can click on the Create New Accession button. Notice that the accession record is automatically assigned. Now we can start to populate any important information we have for this record. Give it a description. In this case, it's 5 pieces of Southwest pottery. For the acquisition method, it was a gift, so I'll find gift. And then the donor, Marlene Rivera, and for the receipt method, it was dropped off, so I'll just put delivered by donor. And then for the date received, you have a couple options. You can type in the date, you can click on the calendar on the right to select the date, or if it was donated today, you can click on the left calendar icon and it'll automatically populate today's date. For the date it was accessioned, you have the same options, so again, I'll just click on the calendar icon on the left for today's date. And then we'll go to accession by and find who did this. In this case, it was me, Hunter. In the bottom right corner, we have the option to attach some files and media to this accession record. We had the donor sign a deed of gift receipt, so we'll attach a copy of that document by clicking on the paperclip and browsing for the receipt. Also, if you don't have a standardized gift receipt, we have a template available on our website under the additional resources. I'll also click on the photo icon to attach a photo of these objects. And once you've filled out all this information, just press Create in the top right corner and you're all set. Now, let's go back to the All Entries page and catalog our first item. I'll select the New Entry button in the bottom right corner and then select Photo and then find the photo of it. Remember, if you're on a smartphone or tablet, you have the option to take a picture of the object right now too. Next, I'll give it a name, San Juan Jar. And for a classification, I'll find ceramic, and that's nested under object/artifact. Now we have the option to populate the entry with any information that we have, but for this demonstration, I'm going to keep it short and go straight down to the acquisition dropdown. And then there, I'll click an accession and find the record we just created. Notice how CatalogIt automatically assigns the entry ID, and since this is the first entry, it'll be 2024.4.1. If I had not created my accession record in advance, I'd have the option to create one by clicking on the plus sign next to accession in the acquisitions menu. To complete this entry, just press Create in the top right corner. You should include more information than I did, but I'm just trying to keep it short. Let's go back to All Entries and create our second entry for this accession. Just like before, we'll click on the orange plus sign in the bottom right corner, select Photo, browse for the photo we want to attach, and then give the entry a name. Then we'll assign ceramic for the classification. This is under object/artifact, but for me, it was my most recently used, so it shows up at the top. And then we'll go straight to the acquisition menu and give it the same accession as before. Notice that this one is automatically assigned 2024.4.2 for an object ID. This is because it's the second entry of this accession record. And then we'll just save this for now. Let's take a look at the entry we just created. In here, you can also click on the accession number and it'll bring up the accession record. At the bottom of this pop-up, it lists the amount of times that the number has been used. If you click on that button there, it'll bring up all of the entries using that accession number. I can also click the link at the top of that pop-up here, and it'll bring up the accession record itself. And from there, I can edit the record if I needed to. Or I could click on the entry and navigate back to the entry itself. And that's how you do an accession in CatalogIt. Thanks for watching, and as always, reach out to us at support@catalogit.app if you have any questions.